Today we shall learn a grammar unit from 11th English 6th unit, the transformation of sentences pertaining to simple, complex and compound sentence. Now children, before learning this simple, compound and complex sentences, let us have a look about what is a sentence, what is a phrase and what are clauses. Now what is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words which gives a complete meaning, and it should have a subject and a predicate. Now children, you may get a doubt. What is a subject and what is a predicate? Subject, in simple terms, you may say subject is a doer of the action. But subject is the main word of the sentence. The whole sentence will be about this subject. For example, if I say, my father is a teacher. In this sentence, my father is the subject. The whole sentence is about my father. Yes? Now what is a predicate? Whatever is said about the subject, that is called a predicate. Now children, very important point is that you must have a finite verb in this predicate. Yes children. Now when I say finite verb, I should also explain about finite and non-finite verbs. Now what is a finite verb and what is a non-finite verb? Yes, finite verbs are actual verbs. You would have learned verbs, right? All the action words with this helping verbs. Now what are non-finite verbs? Non-finite verbs are gerund, participle and infinitive. These verbs look like verbs but they are not verbs actually. For example, if I say I am teaching, here am teaching is a verb. This is a continuous tense, present continuous tense, and you should remember these ing words, all the verbs ending with ing will always have an auxiliary verb before it. If you use without an auxiliary verb, it is not a verb at all. It becomes a gerund. The same way, if I say I like teaching, here teaching is not a verb. Here teaching is a gerund because teaching comes alone. There is no auxiliary verb. Alright? So this is the difference between a finite verb and a non-finite verb. Remember children, in a sentence you should have a finite verb. Here is an important tip for you. You can have one single word as a sentence. For example, go is the shortest sentence in English. It is an imperative sentence. Now, let us move to the phrase. What is a phrase? Phrase, you may have 2 to 3 words or more words. It will have a meaning, but you cannot call it as a sentence. I shall give you an example for the phrase. The Queen of Boxing of India is Mary Kom. In this sentence, the Queen of Boxing of India is a phrase. Now here, if I say it separately, the Queen of Boxing of India, you may think whether it is a sentence or not. But see, there is no finite verb. Therefore, a Queen of Boxing of India is a phrase. Only if I say the Queen of Boxing of India is Mary Kom. Here it is a sentence. Another example is the Hollow Crown speech is very famous in literary circle. Here the Hollow Crown speech is a phrase. Yes children. So phrase is a group of words with a concept. It may act as a subject or an object, but it is not a sentence because it won't have a separate finite verb. Next, what is a clause? Clause is nothing but a sentence. But the only difference is all the sentence will have a complete meaning, but clauses may have a complete meaning or may not, because there are two types of clauses. One is a main clause or an independent clause. The other one is a subordinate clause or a dependent clause. Now the main clause will have a complete meaning. If I say, my father is a teacher, here the sentence is complete. Therefore, this is called an independent clause. If I say, my father who works in this government school is a teacher, in this sentence, you can identify two parts are there, like two sentences. We don't call it a sentence, we call it a clause. Here, my father is a teacher is one clause. Who works in this government school is another clause. Now, which is complete here? Yes, my father is a teacher. When I say this sentence, it is complete. You can understand the whole meaning. Therefore, this is independent clause. When I say, who works in this government school? Here, the sentence is not complete. It needs some more reference. So, it depends on the main clause to give a complete meaning. My father who works in this government school is a teacher. Now, this is the whole sentence. It is complete now. Therefore, children, clauses are again group of words with the subject and the predicate. It also should have a finite verb, but it has two classifications. One is the main clause, the other one is a subordinate clause. An example for independent clause is, I like MS Dhoni. Here, this sentence gives a complete meaning. Therefore, it is an independent clause. Another example is, my father is my hero. Here again, this is an independent clause. I shall give you an example for dependent clause or subordinate clause. I saw my friend when he was playing. Here, when he was playing is a subordinate clause. Next example is, I like him as he is a wise man. Here, I like him is a main clause, as he is a wise man is a subordinate clause. Now, I said, my father who works in this government school is a teacher. Here, I used a simple term to combine these two clauses. Who? Now, this word is called a conjunction. What is a conjunction? Conjunction is a word which is used to connect two clauses. Yes, children, you have got number of conjunctions. Conjunctions are further classified into a subordinate conjunction, coordinating conjunction, and correlative conjunction. Now, if a main clause and a subordinate clause is to be combined, you need to use a subordinating conjunction. The two main clauses will be connected using coordinating conjunction. And what is a correlative conjunction? Correlative conjunctions are used in pair, like not only but also, either or, neither nor. These are correlative conjunctions. Next, we shall learn about sentences. There are three types of sentences: simple sentence, complex sentence, and a compound sentence. Now, what is a simple sentence? A simple sentence is nothing but an independent clause. If you just have one independent clause, it is called a simple sentence. You may have phrases, any number of phrases, but you should have only one finite verb in a simple sentence. In a complex sentence, you will have one main clause, one independent clause, and you can have any number of subordinate clause. You can just represent it as n number of. It can be one or it can be any number. So, these clauses are connected by a subordinating conjunction. Now, what are a compound? What is a compound sentence? A compound sentence will have more than one main clause. So, I said earlier, two main clauses will be combined by a coordinating conjunction. Now, if you have more than one main clause, this sentence is called a compound sentence. Children, I have given a picture. If we represent the main clause as a pillar, if we show the main clause as a pillar, then a simple sentence will have just one pillar. A complex sentence will have a single pillar and number of blocks on top of it. These blocks are subordinate clause. And the compound sentence can be shown like having two pillars or many pillars, and top you can have any block or you may not even have blocks. So like this you can understand the types of sentences. Under subordinating conjunctions, you have got number of conjunctions. I shall give you some example for these subordinating conjunctions and coordinating conjunctions. Example for subordinating conjunctions are, all the WH questions are subordinating conjunction. Now apart from this, you have got though, even though, although. Subordinating conjunctions for comparison. Than, rather than, whether, as much, whereas, and so forth. Now subordinating conjunctions of time. After, as soon as, until, whenever, now that. Subordinating conjunction of concession. Though, although, even though. Of relative pronoun. Who, whoever, whom, whomever, whose. Conjunctions of reason. Because, since, so that, in order to, as, since, etc. Subordinating conjunctions of condition. If, only if, unless, provided that, assuming that, etc. Subordinating conjunctions for place. Where, wherever. And of relative adjectives, that, whatever, which, whichever. Conjunctions of manner, adverbial clause of manner. How, as though, as if. Children, in these subordinate clause, again have some classifications. There are noun clause, there are adjective clause, and there are adverbial clause. As the name suggests, a noun clause is a clause which acts as a noun. Here, for example, if I say, I know what you said. Here, what you said is a noun clause with the conjunction what. It acts as an object. I know what. The next one is adjective clause. If I say, I bought a car which was red in color. Here, this is an adjective clause because the clause describes a noun in the main clause. I bought a car. It describes a car which was red in color. Now this is an adjective clause. And next one is an adverbial clause. Under this adverbial clause, again you have got number of classification, children, because as you know, adverb is a word which defines a verb. It may say where the verb was done, where the action was done, in which place the action was done, how it was done, what way it was done, for what purpose it was done. So, these adverbial clauses will give the adverbial clause of time, adverbial clause of reason, adverbial clause of condition, adverbial clause of comparison, adverbial clause of purpose. So many classifications you have. I shall give you some example, one example under each. First one is adverbial clause of comparison. An example for this is, he is taller than I am. Next one is adverbial clause of time. An example for this is, after finishing the lunch, we shall play. Another example for time is, as soon as the bell rang, the teacher entered the class. Next one is adverbial clause of concession. Though I don't like coffee, I had 2 cups today. Concession means the two sentences will be in contrast. So you should use the word though or although. Next one is relative pronoun. This will come under adjective clause. I met my friend whose father was working in Pune. Sam, who won the gold medal, is my brother. Next one is adverbial clause of reason. Children, I shall give you a very famous sentence which you use in your leave letter often. As I am suffering from fever, I am unable to attend the class. You can substitute as with since also because it has the same meaning. Since I am suffering from fever, I am unable to attend the class. Now you can also use because, but you don't use much in the formal context. Next one is adverbial clause of condition. If you study well, you will be allowed to watch your favorite show. Unless you study well, you will not be allowed to watch your favorite show. Next one is adverbial clause of place. The hotel where we stayed last month has been demolished. Another example is for relative adjective. The laptop which my brother is using is mine. Here, which is the conjunction. Next one is adverbial clause of manner. Pranav spoke confidently as if he was the king. Here, Pranav spoke confidently is the main clause. As if is the conjunction. As if he was the king is the subordinate clause. The first one is for simple, in the place of simple sentence, you have in spite of. This is a prepositional phrase. In spite of plus verb plus ing. And the next one is despite plus a noun. Or in the place of noun, you can have verb plus ing, which is going to be a gerund. And to convert this into a complex sentence, you will have to remove this phrase and you will have to add though or even though or although. And for this compound conjunction is but or yet or till. You have to remember this as a set, children, so that when you are asked to transform a sentence into another, by just identifying the clause and the conjunction, you can recall the other one, the related conjunction that is to be used in the other type of sentences. If you are asked a sentence with the conjunction though, and if you are asked to transform it into a compound, all you have to remember is for though, coordinating conjunction is but. And if you are asked to make it a simple sentence, all you have to remember is for though, the phrase to be used is in spite of. So children, remember it as a set. Alright? Now we'll move on to the second set. For the complex sentence, if conditional clause. The other conditional conjunction is unless. For this, the related compound conjunction, coordinating conjunction is or and not. Another one is and at once. The phrase for this set is in the event of, in case of, or, by plus verb plus ing. All these words which I put verb plus ing are going to be a gerund or present participle. The third set is going to be when, as soon as, and no sooner than for the complex conjunction, and the related compound coordinating conjunction is going to be and so or and. The phrase to be used in this set is being or on plus verb plus ing. If you have a be verb, you can use just being. And the next set is going to be as or since or because. And the related conjunction for the coordinating conjunction for this is and so. The phrases to be used for this set in simple sentences owing to, being, because of, on account of, due to. The next one is for complex conjunction so that. The related coordinating conjunction is very and so. I'll give you the phrase that is to be used in simple sentence is as I said earlier, this is going to be a non-finite verb. So you are going to add to and to. The next set is so that, adverbial clause of result. So that in the place of complex and so for coordinating conjunction, and in the place of simple sentence, all you need to do is add in order to. The next set is not only but also complex sentence. The coordinating conjunction for this is and or as well as. The phrases. In the place of phrase, you are going to use besides plus verb plus ing. Okay children, now let us have a look at the book exercise at the end of the 60 unit cruise. Now you have an exercise in which you are asked to transform the sentences. Yes, we will take a look at this one by one. The first question is, Dinesh and Prabhu wanted to meet Varsha at the bus stop. They went to the bus stop. Here, the first sentence is Dinesh and Prabhu wanted to meet Varsha at the bus stop. The next sentence is they went to the bus stop. See here children, the two sentences completely separate and you have got two main clauses. So all you need to, since it is completely separate, different sentences, no connection, you are going to just add one by one. So you can use the sentence and so. Dinesh and Prabhu wanted to meet Varsha at the bus stop and so they went to the bus stop. Next sentence is Harsha reached the railway station. He saw his friends waiting for him. Now you have to combine these sentences into a complex sentence. Now you need to understand the meaning of these two sentences. So this denotes the time. So adverbial clause of time. What are the conjunctions you had in the place of adverbial clause of time? You have when, after. Yes. So you can use when or after. Here, when Harsha reached the railway station, he saw his friends waiting for him. Third one, the train was late. She reached on time. Now these two sentences are just in contrast. The train was late, but she reached on time. Now you have to combine it into a simple sentence using in spite of. Let us take the first one which happened first. After in spite of, you'll have a noun phrase, right? So, in spite of the train, you should not have the verb, finite verb. So, in the place of finite verb, you're going to put ing. Here you got be verb, so you're going to put being. Now, in spite of the train being late, she reached on time. Now, the next sentence is, Hussein and Victor were too young to work in the industry. Now, you are asked to change into a compound sentence. So, this is two. In the place of two. In that side, you will have what should be used in the place of coordinating conjunction. It will be very and so. In the place of two, T-O-O-2, you're going to use very. Hussein and Victor were very young. What happened? So, they could not work in the industry. So, answer is Hussein and Victor were very young and so they could not work in the industry. The next sentence is, on seeing the snake, the dog barked. You have got a simple sentence here, on plus verb plus ing. Now you need to change it into a complex sentence. So this is a adverbial clause of time. When the dog saw the snake, it barked. Now children, hope you understood the transformation of sentence. Now you should remember all these set of conjunctions, children, so that whenever you are asked to transform, you can recall it very easily.